Hello and welcome to Leashed Dads podcast. That is
We're cooking.
energetic JJ.
No, we're cooking something. That's Jared.
We're two leashed dads that get together to discuss our parental lives, and it's during our being chained to our families.
Dude, I'm so cooked
Tonight
right now.
we're revisiting one of our favorite subjects, just because it's something that, as dads, we enjoy doing for our families, especially when we have the time and we can actually put some heart and soul into feeding our hungry families,
Yes. Our hungry families, our growing family. Well, I won't say growing, but, well, yes, growing at the same time as they continue to get older and they continue to develop more of a appetite. That's what I was going for.
Yep.
Feeding those hungry mouths.
So I really, I said I like 50 times there, but recently I wanted to get into soups and
Soups.
more of like ethnic cooking, because in the past I have done like the basic American ass meals, and especially in the past, I was the grill master and shit like that. So
Aren't you still the grill master?
yeah, but I don't ever do it anymore.
Yeah, not in this weather.
There was winters where hell or high water, I was going out there and cooking a damn steak. So
Damn. Good luck with that one. Well, there are certain times maybe I would consider doing it, um, but not this year. At least
no,
not this past year.
I really enjoyed it because it was just something about having like the excess smoke and steam in the air, and it just kind of made it kind of cool. But I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, there was that one
I can believe
year
that.
that I cooked a steak in what was it, like 10 below, similar to what we just went through.
I think we have this every year around this time, pretty much. Well, I was talking to my doctor the other day about it. It's like, um, it's usually, I'm pretty sure it's usually the end of January where we have this cold ass weather. Like,
Yeah, and
I'm
it is the
talking,
end of January.
yeah, it's middle end. Yeah. We still have a couple weeks left, basically. God, I feel like, yeah. Anyways, yeah, it was just one of those times. We finally hit that cold vortex or whatever. Um, for the year, it happens once a year. I swear, and then we move on. Um, but no, I don't think I would right now ever go out just because I have a propane. I don't think it really matters what I have for grill wise. It's just the comfort of being indoors and not freezing my ass off
Right.
going in and out of the house and whatnot as well.
No, I get it.
Because right now, like, if I had a deck and my grill on that deck, it might be a different story. But I don't. I have to walk out my front door, walk to my driveway, and grill. I mean, I probably
Yeah,
could just go
that's
out the
that's
door.
difficult.
I could go out through the back door where our three seasoned room or whatever, but our dogs are back there.
Oh,
So, I don't want to keep going in and out, and then all of a sudden, no, I bring in food and they're jumping on me because they want the food too. It's like, no, it's just not going to happen. So at this, you just cook, cooking on the grill is one thing, but it's more of a summer thing right now, for a spring, summer, fall thing for me rather than winter, just due to the idea of what I have to do.
so with that being said, how has your cooking? Have you been able to do any more or less now that you have this, not office job, but out of the home job?
Um, there's definitely times where, I mean, I feel like most of the meals still kind of stay the same. Uh, still pretty quick and easy. Um, but there are times where we do find new recipes, which we do try. They still tend to be more of like a crock pot kind of
Yeah.
thing. So it's one new recipe that we decided to finally try, which is actually kind of shocking because I've thought for the longest time my wife did not like, or Sam, she didn't like meatballs. Here we
What
are
meatballs?
doing frozen meatballs. We had bought some like Italian meatballs or whatever, and all of a sudden she's like, "I want to try that." We did this recipe where it was just like the barbecue meatballs. Where you might just do that as like a typical like appetizer or
Yeah.
some sort of like quick um, potluck kind of thing. We did that. Turned out good. They turned out good. Barbecue sauce, a little bit of grape jelly to mix with the
Oh yeah.
barbecue. Give it that sweeter flavor. It's funny because I called them Swedish meatballs, as in totally forgetting that Swedish is more of
Are
the
creamy.
creamy,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, oh, you know what? I meant to say sweet-ish meatballs, not
On the sweet
Swede.
side, meatballs. But yeah, no, that's. I love
So
meatballs. I've tried making them by myself from scratch, but the consistency's always effed. So I
when
kind of
you say
just
from scratch, are you talking like you grab the hamburger meat and make it then? And then
hamburger
how do you
meat,
know?
breadcrumbs, cheese,
See, I never did
and
the
then the egg
breadcrumbs.
binding. Hmm?
I never did like the breadcrumbs or the egg binding. What I've done for meatballs is I've taken them, just taken some meat, put in some like herbs or like seasonings or whatever, and just kind of rolled it up or like kind of battered the meat together,
Yeah.
and then just took meat and then just kind of rolled it up. Never put any crumbs or anything on it, and then I just fry them on like a grill, or not the grill, but in a frying pan.
Okay.
So I mean, I've done that a couple times, for especially when I'm doing like spaghetti. But I've never done like a binding agent, like egg binding agent or anything like that. So, although now talking about that, I really want to do more of like a fondue setting again. It's really fun. We
It is
have we
fun.
have a couple we have a couple fondue pots that we've done before.
Yep.
Um, Not very often, but just
Well, it's a pain in the ass. That's why we don't do it very often either. Because we do both. When we do fondue nights, it's a special occasion. We have two pots. We have a chocolate pot, and then we have a cheese pot. Well,
mm.
we do it both at the same time, so it's like the kids' free for all to just eat chocolate with shit. And like they've gotten so desperate where they've literally put a chicken nugget in chocolate and ate it.
Huh?
Like you are
How that
insane.
do they like it?
I don't know. They eat the whole thing.
Yeah, they must like it, or they're just like, oh, it's chocolate and then chicken nugget, whatever. Uh, so it's very interesting though. No, we've never really did like two different pots or anything like that. We've just done one big pot of like oil and just kind of let our food sit in it. At this time, we're just doing more like chicken and cheese or whatever. Just kind of
Oh, so you do the oil version where you cook things in it.
yeah.
See, I've never done that. I've always just done the cheese and the chocolate one.
See, there you go. But I would love to do more things with just the oil, not because I've been. Have you ever been to or heard of the melting pot?
Yeah, I've heard
It's
of
a
it.
Yeah, it's a very expensive restaurant, right? Where you've got it's a three-course meal. You've got your appetizer stuff, and then you've got your main, like your meats and everything, and then you've got your dessert, right? Well, obviously they bring out three different pots. They bring out a pot that has like the oil or like your appetizer oil that you use. to cook your appetizers in. And then they bring out your main course oil or juice, like au jus, which is just like
Yep.
it's your French cooking oil, basically. That's all it is. It's just cooking oil that's got some French, ingredients in it to make it more French-like and oil-wise. And then they bring out your dessert, which is more of a chocolatey base. So, like you've done. Or did they do the cheesy one? For the fuck.
You probably could get like an option.
I was
Right?
there for my anniversary with my wife back in August. That is the most recent time we've gone to the melting pot. We had a nice little date night, anniversary night out of it too. But yeah, no, it was just one of those things. I would love to do more of that. I think it was more of a cheesy base for the appetizer, so kind of like what you've done, and then a chocolate base for the dessert, but not the. You've never done the cooking oil yet, so
Nope.
I would love to add just more flavor than just vegetable oil or whatever kind of oil that they want you to use, right? Just to give it more flavoring than just cooking your meat. Let it sit there for 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, I'd rather give it some more flavor, but that would take a little bit more time just to find the ingredients and everything, which isn't too bad. But um, I do enjoy me some fondue from time to time.
Yeah, it's
I
good,
think
but
as the kids
but
get older, it makes it difficult. I shouldn't say difficult. It makes it easier because then they can come and enjoy it more. Whereas like you've got young children, such as my daughter, for example, who's only 2, and that could create a big mess and something I don't want to deal with. Burns
yep,
everywhere, you know.
yeah. So yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm on a soup kick, and for the last about year, I would say, is like I've really wanted to create like chicken soup from scratch. I mean, we're talking full chicken, create the stock, and like that whole process.
Yeah, so you're talking about boiling the chicken in the water and letting the
Right.
water
Do I
basically
have the
absorb all the chicken.
patience?
No,
Do I have the time?
maybe.
No.
No, you don't have the time.
I don't know. It's like a entire day process, and there's just way too much firing at me. Another reason why I don't know. Last week was kind of an interesting situation, and I just feel the waves of energy just drained out of me the past since the new year. Actually, it's been crazy.
Hmm.
I've actually been sleeping a lot more too, which is even more insane because up and before the new year, before 25, I've had trouble sleeping. I just can't do it for some reason. But now I'm just
Sleeping too
so
much.
tired.
Oversleeping, huh?
No, no, maybe, but even without any like help from any substance or anything, like I was ready for bed tonight at like 8:30. Like seriously, I was
Hmm.
yawning so bad, reading my kid's book. Every sentence I couldn't get out because I was yawning so bad. But it's like that and I'm sleeping through the night too, except for when the kids just get up.
Hmm.
And my youngest is sick, so you know. I just feel a lot of energy being sucked out of me lately, and it's probably got something to do with what I do for a living versus the cold air versus the kids being off and on their school schedule due to the cold air, due to what is it, professional something day, the random ass days that teachers take off. I don't Professional
Oh,
development
your
day.
school does that. Your school does that too, where they just have random days
Yeah,
throughout the month or
it's
whatever.
like Jesus, people. Um, but I did manage to make a creamy potato soup and this is kind of where I went into the weeds because I have no knowledge I have
Mhm.
very limited knowledge of making soup, right? I mean, it should be as simple as throwing a bunch of shit in a pot, boiling the hell out of it, and boom, it's soup. Well, when you're doing like creamy soup, or when you have certain ingredients that have to be cooked for a longer time, then it becomes more of okay, what do I do first? At what point do I put this in? Because I can't put it in too soon, kind of thing. So
Yep.
for anybody looking to get more adventurous, if you have time to get into cooking, because don't get me wrong, throughout the week, if Natalie works, I'm doing quick fix at, getting the food to the table as fast as possible, because I don't get done with work until minimum 5. There are days when I'm clocking out at 5:30, quarter to 6, and they're chomping at the bit. It's like, okay, I feel really bad, but how about frozen taquitos? Hey, woohoo!
Yay,
Kind of thing.
taquitos!
Where if I dedicate the time, especially during weekends, and Natalie's coming home from work at 5 o'clock, and I have time to do it, I will invest my
Mhm.
heart and soul into making a meal for my family. And so this last time with the cream potato soup, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna follow a vague recipe. Just I want to know the steps of when to put the stuff in and how to cook it to start off the bat. So I did that, and it turned out fantastic. I mean, I even threw in leeks and green onions and carrots and all this stuff that I just thought would be good, and it turned out amazing. I was so proud of myself, tooting my own horn, But
Nice.
it makes you, it made me feel good having something like that go well, and my family actually enjoying it, and my kids who have not touched an entire bowl of soup ever in their life because they think it's gross, actually sat
Hmm.
down and ate it. That made me
Hmm.
feel so happy.
I like it.
And there was stuff in there that they have never had before. Like, they don't know what a leek is. They don't know what a green onion is.
Yeah.
But
Now,
my
were these
oldest
all
does get into potatoes. Like, she's been screwing
okay?
with potatoes for a while. Like, I've just
Yeah.
been boiling them, chopping them up, boiling them, and she'll just mow them down. Mashed potatoes, mow them down. So I'm
Nice.
happy about that.
Yeah. I made. I haven't let this go, and I probably never will. But it was last week sometime, and maybe it's because of just how things were turning out throughout the work week too. But last week I had come home from just a very crappy day at work. I started making dinner and started making mashed potatoes because that's what Sam wanted, was mashed potatoes. So I made it, and I peeled the potatoes, right, just kind of homemade potatoes, mashed potatoes. Uh, Peeled the potatoes, let them sit in the water, put my fork in to test if they were done or whatnot. The freaking potatoes were sliding out the fork. Okay, at least
They're
the
done,
first
yeah.
time around. Yeah, they're done. Apparently they weren't, because I started trying to mash them and they weren't mashing very well.
Oh no.
So and at this point too, um, our son Arlo wanted to help in the kitchen as well, and Sam tasked him with picking the vegetable out. Okay, at this time he had picked the vegetable out. I was helping him a little bit with that, and this is at the point where I was doing the mashed potatoes. I ended up dumping all the my first batch of mashed potatoes. And he said, he asked me what I was doing. I was like, well, I'm dumping out the mashed potatoes because I messed up. His reaction was, wow. Okay. It was a little triggering, but I didn't lose my shit. I just simply told him, it's like, I need you to leave the kitchen. I'm going to actually ask you to leave the kitchen right now. He didn't know he did anything wrong. Of course, he didn't do anything wrong. He just made an expression of wow. And it was just a little triggering because I had a really bad day at work and I just could not let the work or the idea of what happened at work go. So I let it carry over into my house, which isn't necessarily usual for me, letting such a bad, something carry over from home or work to home. Um, but I got, it's one of those things. At least I didn't lash out at him and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" or anything of that nature, right? Kind of go off on him because it's not his thing. He doesn't know
Yeah.
what he did. Um, he doesn't know that I had a bad day at work or anything like that. So I just simply asked him to leave and I would finish up. But I made my second batch of mashed potatoes and so on and so forth. Um, it's funny because we're talking not just about cooking, but if there's any new recipes out there, we've also recently made enchiladas.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing I want to make.
And it's more or less something Sam has made, um, just because she's the one that had the time to do that. I'm still the one making like the stuffed peppers when we do those. Um, my chicken puffs or my stuffed stuffed chicken or chicken stuffed shells. That's what I'm gonna call them. Chicken stuffed shells. I still make those. Then there's sadly enough, so I've now gone through 2 quesadilla makers. Like my
Like
first
they just
quesadilla,
failed or what?
the handle is broken.
Oh, okay, got it.
So, they've gotten use out of them. Like my first quesadilla maker I got was a wedding gift, and then that handle had broken. So then I got a new one, and eventually that handle had broken. And I think just for Christmas I got a new quesadilla maker. Haven't opened it yet, but we'll see if this one lasts as long as the other ones or whatnot. So maybe it'll get its life or more life out of it. Um, but quesadillas are fun, especially making chicken quesadillas or whatnot. Um,
Just did it tonight.
there you go. See, nice and easy. Do you use a quesadilla maker at all, or do you have like just do it on the stove or something?
I have a very thin steel pan, non-stick pan that's kind of like a grill-ish
Oh, okay.
pan.
Yeah,
So I just turn it up to medium high and push down and with the spatula and
nice.
yeah.
That works. I just like the idea of being able to have like the triangles, you know.
Yeah.
So, but that's just me. I could probably do it on the stove or like a flat iron, whatever. Um, there was another one out there that I do enjoy making. Oh, when sometimes we'll do like curry, like a chicken curry. Yes, we use like um curry mix, like a pre-curry mix or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But it'll be like I'll make the chicken and I'll cut up the carrots and uh, celery or whatever other vegetables we put into it, like broccoli. I'll cut that up and cook it, and potatoes. We obviously use potatoes as well, and then we'll just throw in the curry mix. So it's good stuff. It's not like spicy curry by any means, but it is a mild curry. So it's a good time. I do enjoy
Sounds
that.
good.
It is, especially when you know that you've got the time to cook it too. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's not like a quick fix like taquitos or anything. And I'm in agreement because um, most of the time when Sam's rushing to work or something like that as well, it's like you need to make something quick so she can have it before she goes, if anything, um, rather than having her spend money. We're on a tighter budget now because of our garage nearing completion and everything. Uh, Which actually, funny enough, the garage is pretty much complete now, and it was up in a matter of days. Siding's all complete. The garage door is on. Now the electrician just has to come and get like the power to the garage door motor, um, and actually install like lights or whatever into the garage itself. So it's almost done. But the electrician probably won't be able to do that until springtime, just because of the ground being hard.
Yeah.
Just like our fence that they are going to do can't be done until springtime as well
Right.
because of the salt. Like they had to actually cut part of the fence down because there was a post that was actually into the ground. It's actually in the cement or the driveway, so they had to cut it, which is fine. I kind of expected something of like that, but it was very interesting knowing that they had to do that. So um, they'll put that big, like our swivel gate fence back up. Hopefully, it's not a swivel gate anymore because we really don't need it because now we have a 2-car garage. I don't think Sam and I are going to have a boat anytime soon. And if we do have well, I'm sure that's what the swivel gate was for, though. Was for somebody that previously owned it or somebody that may have wanted to own it and had like a single family or something like that, a smaller size family, would have had the swivel gate and used that to open their gate up and put their boat in their backyard. Because
Yeah.
we had a lot of concrete in one spot, which is what I'm assuming was where the boat would have rested. But yeah, so um, there are definitely some more recipes I would love to look into. Because I know even with some of the quick meals that we do for like when Sam needs to go and everything, it still takes a hot minute to do. Like hamburger helper, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
still 20, still about 25 minutes to finish or whatnot. Or taquitos. Like sometimes when you do something that needs the oven, it still takes a good time to heat up. Unless you do you have like a quick oven that or quick heat oven or whatever? Not saying those are a thing, but
No, or you like toaster oven or something?
well, not even a toaster oven. But I'm just talking
No, I
to like
mean
your regular oven. If you turn it up to
ours takes a
425
good. I
just
don't
to
know
do
if
a
you're
pizza or whatever,
right. If you're preheating for 425 for a pizza, it's a good 10 minutes.
yeah,
And it's a newer oven too. But Natalie too. Just today it was like 25 minutes for corn dogs in the oven. Are you shitting me? It's like, oh yeah, yeah. They're
that's
not
why I don't
quick.
do corn dogs in the oven. That's why I don't do a lot of things in the oven, like nuggets or pizza rolls or corn dogs. I like to throw that shit into the microwave because it's
Yeah,
faster.
you've said that before. I just can't do it. That sogginess is just too much for me. It's just
It's not always soggy. I don't have the patience to wait.
yeah.
Like if I had, well, I do have like an air fryer. I'm sure I could do something with it. It's down
Oh, there
here
you go.
somewhere. I haven't used an air fryer in forever though. But or at least mine. Uh, yeah, it's one of those things I just haven't used in a while. I've used it a couple times for like French fries and everything. Um, I just don't think it's always turned out to the quality that I've expected.
I
So
can see that.
just one of those things. I think it was a wedding gift. So I'm not saying by any means it is a wedding gift like a cheap brand or anything like that either, right? But it was a good wedding gift, and I've used it a handful of times. Um, but it was always very, it took up a lot of space in our
Well,
kitchen.
it does. Yeah.
And, we still have a shit ton of stuff in our kitchen. Like, our kitchen is still very small. It's got a lot of counter space, but all the shit that we have on our counters already takes up so much room. Like, we don't even have our, like, how most people probably have, like, a microwave somewhere in their kitchen. They obviously have their stove. We don't have a dishwasher because all our, everything underneath it would just, yeah. So we have our sink, we have our stove, no dishwasher. Um, we don't even have like a toaster out.
We don't either.
Yeah. So
I like them, but
I like having a toaster. I will use it, but it's like we used to have it out all the time on our counter. Now we don't, just because of how often we do use it now. It's very minimal. Um, I think the last time I used it was actually for a bagel or something like that.
a what?
So a bagel, bagel, bagel. Would you like
A
a
bagel.
bagel?
A
Bagel.
bagel.
A bagel, a little bagel. It's a bagel. Bagel. Bagel, bagel, bag gel. It's bagel. Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I've done that. I want to use my toaster, my air fryer. Darn it, I'm inspiring myself to use things I haven't used in my house in forever.
There you go.
At the wrong time of day. At the wrong time. Oh man. But it'll be fine. So I I there's still a lot of things obviously to discover in cooking. Like I would love to get into soups. I still want to do bigger meals during the weekends. Um that do require more prep and everything too. But now would you I know talking about prep and everything, it's kind of wanting me to go this route a little bit here as well. Baking. Do you count that as cooking or do you count that as something
Yes.
completely separate?
No, I count it as cooking. Am I? And Eleanor actually asked this about, well, Dad. Why don't you make cakes? Why don't you bake cakes or cookies? It's like I don't know. It's not something that I would enjoy. I guess I don't know. And besides, when I eat it, I feel like a total fatso. So
Nice. Putting it in polite words, huh?
yeah, I mean, I don't want to feel like a tubbo eating a freaking. Because if I make an entire cake, who the hell's gonna eat it? It's just gonna like half it's gonna go to waste.
Half of it's going to sit in the fridge and just kind of waste away
Yeah, and if I
eventually.
make a pan of brownies, those are gone in a day, so can't really do that.
Are you eating the panda brownies?
I have no self control when it comes to brownies. I zero, none, no self control at all.
That's bad. That's so
It
bad.
is bad. It's very bad. But like, there's some those suckers get a mental hold on me, and I just can't let it go.
They must be good if they got that good of a hold on you.
Yeah.
Are they the good kind of brownies or are they the kind of brownies that you just they're not the ones where you need to take some time away, are they?
No, I've never made special brownies. I've heard that process is rather difficult and stinky, so I don't.
Mm, I've never done special brownies either. I wouldn't do that in my house. So then
Maybe
again,
when
I
the
don't
kids are
really.
out of the house, but not
Mm,
before that.
not even then.
That's way too risky.
Not even then. If the kids were out of the house or anything like that, it's just I don't need. I don't have a need to start that. It was just one of those things. I wasn't sure if you did those types of special brownies, and just wanted to ingest a good portion of them too.
I do gummies and I don't know, puff every once in a while, but that's about it.
You know what I want to do again now?
Hmm.
Vodka gummy bears.
I've had a few in my lifetime, and they've always been super runny. Like I've never been, oh, I could really go, or like that sounds really good. It's like, here, you got to take this gummy bear. Okay, fine. It's like those over congealed Jello shots. You got
Yeah,
to, suck into.
yeah.
No, if I
There's
want a drink,
honestly,
give me the fucking bottle.
oh no, I know. There's definitely a fine line between how much alcohol you have to put in with the gummy bears.
Right.
Um, the last time I did it, like alcohol or gummy bears with alcohol, was in Whitewater when
I
I
I
brought.
think I remember that. That must be where I.
Yeah, it was one of those
Yeah,
things. I think the gummy bears we had because I went to Carroll University to pick up one of my friends for the weekend or whatever. Brought her back and we had a party. And then
I think I remember that.
yeah, we made some alcoholic gummy bears for the party. Yeah, that was good times. Good times. So, but yeah, no, I don't know if see. I would love to. I want to get into more baking too because I've
Me
got a
too.
cookbook. I've got a cookbook that's basically all about baking or just making some vegetarian dishes. But I don't, the problem is I don't really call them vegetarian dishes because a majority of the things in there are like lemon tarts. That's more of a dessert, not a
Right.
vegetarian dish. Some ices or slushies in there. Now there are some. Don't get me wrong. There are definitely some vegetarian or vegan dishes in there, like there's like something to do with the avocado or something like that, or some other types of dishes in there that don't have any meat, right? They're definitely for your vegans or vegetarians, but um, I just, like if you're making a slushy, well, that's not, you know, I would that's more of a drink. That's not really.
Right.
It's more of a sweet drink, anyways, or like a dessert beverage. It's not necessarily saying here have this for, you know, the um, have this for dinner.
Yeah.
But I want to dive into some of that. Like I've written down ingredients that I need and want to go shopping for. I just haven't taken the time for it because, well, taking the time to go shopping, and then on top of that, the money itself. When you find those things, it still costs money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my holdback right there. But yeah, what about you? Anything? I know you said you obviously you'd like to get into some baking. Are there anything? Is there anything else that you would get into for cooking? Um, or is there anything new you've done?
Besides, because I've only made like the three soups in my life, and the potato one being the third.
Mhm.
But if I had to get something anything new, it would probably be baking. It would probably be like making an actual flippin' cake. And just even in the cooking classes in high school, I don't ever remember making a legit cake ever. Um, I mean, I think I've like screwed around with the boxed cake stuff, but I
Right.
don't think that's really baking. It's that it's taking too much prep and steps out of it, and you're just putting three ingredients together and blah, you know. But I would the curry thing I'd like to get into. Maybe trying to make it from scratch, but otherwise, I have gotten the pre-made curry stuff in the store. It's good. I like the peanut saute sauce as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten really into kind of like American Asian cooking, where I do my take on a stir fry, where I start out with a teriyaki sauce and add some hoisin, and just kind of stew that sucker for about half an hour with chickpeas and other just random
Yeah.
ingredients, and then put it over a bed of jasmine rice. My wife and I actually support our local our neighborhood Asian store down the street on the corner, and we buy like 50-pound bags of rice at a pop, and it lasts us a good year and a half. But it's just easier that way too. So we always have rice on hand. So
Yeah.
if I ever just be like, I don't want to have Natalie come home hungry and have to give her like some quick fix meal, I'll have like a pot of vegetarian stir fry and rice ready for her to go. So and she can eat that when she gets home from work. Um, Besides more types of soups, and now and I could really just if I had more energy and time to dedicate to it, like we have several cookbooks that we've collected over the years. I would just like to go through a cookbook. Like I have a Seinfeld cookbook. Yeah, there's a lot of just random ass recipes in that cookbook, like the big salad or lobster and
Yeah.
crab bisque. But still, to make all the recipes in that cookbook, that'd be amazing. Like also, I've never had an authentic Jewish meal before, And like I've
Hmm.
really been like just interested in like matzo ball soup and kreplach, I think it is called. There's a couple other random like Jewish delicacies that I've been like, I really want to try that.
Dude, I
I
want to try
really want to
lamb.
try that. Huh?
I want to try making lamb.
You've never made lamb before? Oh, it's super easy.
Well, I mean, I could believe it's super easy or something, but I've got like a wedding cookbook or whatever, and I think it's got lamb in there, or some other just fine. Well, should I say fine dining? Maybe, but those like you're on delicacies.
Yeah.
So I
No,
would love to try.
lamb is really good. Let me know if you ever have questions. Like if you get a rack of lamb, that's a bit more tricky because you really should or not saute, but you really should sear it on all sides and
Hmm.
then finish it off in the oven, and that can be a little difficult. But yeah, it's good. I like lamb.
Do you
I would use
butter it
it in
up
a
at
lot
all?
actually. Hmm?
Do you butter the lamb up at all when you sear it, or just kind of? Or what do you do when you
It
sear it?
depends on
Just
what
kind
you're
of.
doing it in. If you're doing it in a
Okay.
cast iron or a pan, then yes. But if you're doing it on a grill, no. You kind of lightly coat it in olive oil and then the rosemary, thyme, and the whatever you put on it.
Sure. Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good.
That's good. Now I'm gonna try it. There are definitely some other, cuisines that I would. There's a new cuisine over by my house. It's an Indian cuisine, Indian curry cuisine that just opened up. But there are some other uh, delicacies or things that hmm, things I would love to try. Not maybe not so much cooking, but like revisit or something like alligator. Haven't just some of those types of meats, those exotic meats, I guess. I'll call
I
them
want to try
exotic.
rabbit and turtle.
Ooh, turtle sounds
I've never
good.
had rabbit or turtle.
Yeah, I would.
But yet I've
Oh
had
man,
squirrel.
really? You've had squirrel?
Yeah, squirrel's not bad. It's like really gamey dark meat.
I've never had it, so I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to do some of that stuff too. Just try different types of meat out there, right? But yeah, I mean, that's all I got.
It's a real
And
funny
if
story to end it. So my buddy and I, a bunch of us are sitting in his room playing Halo on his old Xbox, and his dad was in. So his lower level bathroom looks upon the backyard, which has a fence and a bird feeder. Well, the window doesn't have a screen, so
yeah,
my buddy's dad has been known to sit in his bathroom with a BB gun and pop squirrels off the fence. All of a sudden, one day we're sitting playing Halo, and he comes up with a 9x13 of cream of mushroom soup with some interesting meat I've never seen before there. I said, "Here, take a piece. Watch out for buckshots. Watch out for BBs." And oh yeah, seriously, it looks like a little chicken wing. It's like, what is this? It's really good. Squirrel. I've been shooting them off. This is in the middle of the city, by the way, folks. This is it's
oh,
just
that's funny. I mean, poor squirrels, but at the same time,
yeah.
it's amazing that you could just pop them and then all of a sudden cook them or whatever. Sounds like a good time though.
Yeah.
Reminiscing about those childhood memories.
Yep.
Yeah. So, folks, for those of you out there, if you enjoyed this cooking episode, let us know. I don't know why the fuck I'm doing an accent all of a sudden. Anyways, let us know if you have any recipes you want to share with us or just want to get onto the show. Certainly be happy to take those. Leashdads14 at gmail.com. Haven't popped that thing in there for a while. you know where to find us. You can hit us up on, no, by the way, TikTok. It's still around. It has not gone anywhere. Well, minus like 12 hours or whatever it was. But TikTok is still around for those. So you can hit us up there. You can hit us up on Spotify. I believe Apple and Google Podcasts still. I will double check into that one. So, you know, if it's not there, don't worry. It will be again if I remember. YouTube as well. So, any last remarks, Jared? Hit us up with your recipes, folks. If you want us to try something, or if you want to try something new, we will send you. Just DM us or something, or you know, Facebook us, whatever. We can certainly give you some recipes or something along the lines if you are interested in some of our recipes that we've tried. All right, folks. We'll see y'all next time with Leashed Dads. Stay chained.